La Familia. How you doing? It's Uncle Tony. Long time no see. My bad. Again. I don't really want to talk about it. I was in the federal penitentiary. Anywho, it's the holiday season, and I thought there ain't no better time than Uncle Tony than now. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of talk about, oh, it's gonna be a white Christmas. And I don't want to make this a racial thing. So I'm gonna show you folks how to have an Italian Christmas. The most important thing for Christmas is la comida. That's Italian for food. And if you ain't got meatballs, you ain't got nothing. You can quote me on that one. Making meatballs is an art form, alright? Takes a lot of time, 10 to 11. Do I got work experience? Pal, I've got so much work experience I could be vetted in the meatball union. Pal, I'm like the Jimmy Hoffa of meatballs. You can cheat a lot of things in life, and trust me, I know all about that. But you can't cheat a meatball. I mean, at the end of the day, when it's in your mouth, you know if it's real, if it's not real. I won the tri-state meatball making extravaganza back in the day. So yeah, I know what I'm doing. And trust me, ain't nobody ever seen meatballs like I made that day. They were so round, so tender, oozing with flavor, just the right. I still got the golden meatballs hanging in my office if you want to see them one day. You know what they say? You can't... We're cracking eggs, alright? We're putting the 4 eggs in the bowl. Alright, 1, 2 at a time? No, not 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 2 at a time. Uncle Tony time. Whoppa! Farm fresh. Farm fresh. Next we need a little water. We're gonna add a little water. A little less than a cup. And it goes... A little salt, not too much, alright? A little pepper. And we spin it around. See the technique I got going on? Alright, next step, we're gonna see how the cookie crumbles. In this case, the cookie is not a cookie. There we go. There we go. You know, I don't like using power tools too much after that one time in, you know, '08. It didn't turn out that good for me, or, you know. They call him One-Eyed Lenny now, and, you know, that's my bad, Lenny. If you could see this, I don't know if you can, because you only got one good eye. My bad. You know, how was I supposed to know that if I use the power saw on the crackers, it's gonna go in your eye? That's my bad, Lenny. I was trying to make a good meatball for you, Lenny. Anyway. I don't know why they shut down my pizzeria. Like, oh, it's not up to code. Oh, you gotta wear gloves in the kitchen. You're gonna tell Picasso how to paint now, you know? Let's put it in there. It's gonna have a little bath, a little soak for about 5 minutes. There we go. Alrighty, so I got 5 minutes, so I'm gonna put down a DC real quick. Alright, for our next step, we're gonna mix the meats together. And in true Uncle Tony fashion, I forgot I needed the bowl, and I ain't waiting no 5 minutes because I ain't no putz. So we're gonna mix it in the butcher paper. It's like a heist trying to get the meat I paid for, you know. It fell off the truck. Am I gonna pick it up off the street? Here we go. This is gonna be like the base of your meatball. And ask me where this recipe's from, Bambino. Ask me. Ask me, Bambino. Bambino. Ask me where... It's from Sinatra's mother, alright? This is basically like Mary is to Joseph. Or Mary is to... Anyway, you ain't disrespecting this recipe. There we go. There we go. A little meatball sandwich, anybody? Ah. The kids like it when I joke around in the kitchen. Makes Uncle Tony kind of fun, you know? I'm gonna get my jewelry in the mix. Yeah. You want a bite, Bambino? Alrighty, folks. We're gonna say it's been 5 minutes, and we're gonna add our meat to the sauce that isn't sauce. Alrighty. Hey, don't tell the prosecutor I killed Big Bird, because it sure does look like it right now. Hey, look at me. I'm one of the dogs at Parkland with Kennedy's brain in my hands. Sorry, Jackie. Make it less goopy. It's pretty goopy right now. Look at it. Listen, listen. It's pretty goopy. See the flow? See the technique? It's all in the hips. Alright? If your hips are moving, your meatball's moving. If your meatball's moving, then it's grooving. Yeah. You know Uncle Tony did slam poetry back in the day. You know, in my college days. You can say you win a college, and you can still get elected to Congress, you know? You know, they almost sent me to the moon once. I'm just kidding, I'm not George Santos. But I will use your donations to buy things I didn't say I would buy. Because I am like George Santos in that way. Look how beautiful this is. Look at it. Oh. Next up, we're gonna add a little bit of, a little flavor, a little bit of spice in there. Except nothing too spicy because I can't handle it. I had a one bad experience this one time. You know. Anyway, we're gonna add some fresh, little espresso, you know. Get the heart pumping again. Since we ain't got no basil, like we ain't have no onions in that first video 3 years ago because I'm so consistent with making these videos. I'm Bambino. It's more of his fault than my fault because I always wanted to do them. A little Tony tip, you don't want to eat the stems because you know, you're not a brachiosaurus. So you're going to cut off the leaf. Look at that. Look at the precision. It's like a jewel cutter, you know? Up here, Bambino. The show's up here. This is the money maker right here. So thanks to Bambino over here, he's gonna do a little TikTok montage of how I cook this. Aren't you, Bambino? You're gonna do this for me, aren't you? You're gonna do me the solid. They don't eat good food in London or in England. Have you ever seen an English person who's happy? I can't work with you in my space like this, Bambino. I can't do it. Listen, I got a knife, all right? I can't work under these. Folks, how you doing? Listen, we just chopped up all the greens and we're gonna put it in our bowl now and we're gonna do the mixing again. Alright, so now it is. Here it is. The big meatball time. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make some meatballs. We're gonna put them in a pan, we're gonna throw it in the pan over there and a little bit of olive oil. We'll get into it, alright? Let's go. You know, some guys like working with a smaller meatball, but I'm a big meatball type of guy. You know, I really like when I can get my hands on it. Alright, we're gonna hold for plane, hold for plane, hold for plane. I ain't getting any younger. Yeah, you're gonna, crossover, just beat the Knicks because they still suck. You know, times like these, I remember when I could just right out the ballpark. Well, it stayed in the ballpark, you know, because they'd strike out. That's why they call me Tony Two Strikes. Because my fastballs were so fast that the umpire called it as 2 strikes. Can you believe that? That's a true story right there. That's got the Santos, you know, seal of approval of truth on it. That's a big meatball, huh? Hey, baby, you ain't never seen meatballs that big in your life, huh? I see it pretty often. Here I am, your knight in shining armor. Now, Tony, what's the most important step? It's the olive oil, alright? It goes everybody. It goes on the hair, all over the body. That's why I'm silky smooth. That's for your aunts back home. How you doing? It's Uncle Tony. Welcome to my kitchen. It's where I make my artwork. The kitchen is my canvas. And you too. This right here is the lifeline of Italians. It's the olive oil, like they say back home. I'm doing my Melania Trump face right now. Were you filming this, Bambino? You filming this right now? Bambino, the sauce. We forgot the sauce. We forgot the sauce. Not to worry. Uncle Tony's here. And if I'm here, I always got the sauce on me, sweetheart. I'm in the sauce, but I ain't lost in the sauce. You want to see inside my fridge? What, you want to see inside my wallet too? Christ, I don't have a wallet. They're being a little helpier maybe, huh? Instead of looking at me like that with that face. How could you help your uncle up? I'm feeding you, for Christ's sake. You know, sadly, we lost all the footage of me making this homemade sauce. Because it is homemade. Like last time. Or any other time you see me do anything. And then this is also homemade. That's why it doesn't have a label on it of just tomato. I can't read Italian, and I wrote this in Italian because, you know, it's in the blood, but tomato puree. We forgot the cheese in the meatballs. We forgot the cheese in the meatballs, so now we have to make them. We can't put the meatballs back in the sauce bowl because now there's the sauce in the bowl. But we forgot the cheese, so we're gonna add a little bit of cheese into the meatballs. Hey, don't film this. We ain't got the good cheese because I forgot to get the good cheese. So we're using the American cheese that I definitely didn't get out of the fridge next door because they leave the. I'm mixing the cheese in, and since we ain't got the bowl, the cheese is just gonna be. The meatballs ain't really got a ball shape to them no more. You know, they might come take my golden meatballs away from me. We're kind of on the Titanic right now, where everything's sinking, but we're just gonna keep playing the music and hope everything's all right. Yeah, there we go. Dolce and Gabbana. You ever wonder why they call it Tu and Gabbana? You know, some people might say having paper right over an open flame with oil is a bit of a fire hazard. But I say, I got a little confidence for you, La Familia. We might be eating meatloaf today instead of meatballs, cause yeah. I think we're having meatloaf for dinner, folks. Who let Uncle Tony in the kitchen again? I did. I let myself in the kitchen. This calls for backup. So now I got 2 forks. Alright. So now that we definitely have a great crust on the other side, it's not just going to be some like gray, soupy meat. We're going to flip it over so that way we can throw the sauce in and cook the meatballs. So that way they stay moist in the middle. It's got a hint of a crust. Alright, we just said a little Hail Mary, and we're gonna hope that the other ones keep their shape. And I'm not really that confident about that, in all honesty. At all. Oh boy. London Bridge is falling down. It's a tumbling. It's like Humpty Dumpty. Oh boy. Alrighty. Well, there's our first meatball, which is more meat than ball. It's a meatball. You know, the doctor said that this is what the inside of my knee looked like after that ball injury. Gee, my knee is really acting up. I think I'm just gonna go home because, you know, my knee really just watch the flame for a minute here. So the sauce is like sharpieing out on your car because it got scratched up, and you think that nobody's gonna notice because it's the same color, but it ain't the same color. So we're just going to add the sauce in there. We're going to let it cook, and we're just going to hope it tastes all right. All right? You know, you can never have too much sauce. Oh, we might have messed up the meatballs. But gee, can I make a meat sauce? And this is all homemade, folks. Remember that. Tony made this sauce. Hey, La Familia. It's been about 45 minutes. So let's get a little update on our meatballs here. Which right now, they're kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. There's a meatball in there somewhere. I just don't know where. Hey, look at that. You know what they say. If it ain't too bad, it's pretty good for me. Oh, we're not going to take that one out. That one's staying in there too. We got one good meatball. 1 out of 4. That's a 25%. In my books, that's a passing grade. And remember, folks, The most important part about the holidays is spending time with the folks you love. Like me, Uncle Tony. Ciao.